All right. Da, 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 da. Wait, that's the Price is Right. It's not. That's the wrong theme song. Oh, I gotta
Come
pick
on
this shit.
down.
Used to be my championship, the extremely real championship.
Oh yeah. What's an extremely real Royal Rumble?
Yeah. All right. This is our podcast, Juni in the Hall
Yep.
podcast number 69.420.
Nice.
I have not been counting. That's on me. It's on you. It's your fault.
Yeah. You know what? If you're listening to this, you should be counting and letting us know.
I marked this one as episode 77. It's definitely not.
I mean, it could be close.
I doubt it. I need to turn this down.
Yes, you do.
It is real loud. It crashed.
Oh, baby.
Of course it crashed.
What a great start to the podcast.
Oh well. We'll start talking about we'll start answering the questions first while I reload it up here.
Yep.
So the first question is from Bamford.
Okay.
He's got
Bam, bam. Thank you, Bam.
one question for both of us and one that looks like it's just for me.
Okay.
The first one is, what is your favorite work of Euler? I assume the mathematician.
Euler? Like Euler?
Yeah, not Bueller. Euler.
Euler.
He's the guy.
Well, he created Euler's number. I mean,
Yeah,
have
that number. It's important. He didn't need to invent like mathematical notation like f of x or something.
yeah, and the E
Yeah, and the
like
e
logarithm.
Obviously. Well, I assumed you were picking that one, so I had to pick a different one.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's totally fair.
So yeah, I'll pick. I guess I'll pick functions of x.
Hey, without Euler's number, we don't land on the moon. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm sure if we aim well enough, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, but we needed the math because without Euler's number, you can't do your angles right. You can't figure out your hyperboles. So there's no way we'd be able to figure out how gravity works and how to get out of the orbit correctly.
That
So
is
it's kind of important.
that is true. It's a really weird question, but I'll take it.
What's your favorite derivative of Euler's number?
I don't have a lot of experience working with Euler, I guess. So
You literally went to engineering school.
yeah, but I went to computer science. I crashed.
I'm
Right.
sure you'd had to deal with a lot of Euler's numbers.
I'm sure, but I graduated college like a decade ago. What do you
True.
want from me?
True.
Yeah. What do you remember studying in college? I don't.
Hey, fun fact, I get a little Google because I wanted to see if I was saying his name correctly. I was not. It's pronounced Euler. Did you know that?
It's Euler, really? I don't believe.
Apparently.
That cannot be right. I've never
Leonard
heard anybody
pronounced
say that.
Euler.
No way.
According to this random website called Math is Fun, it is pronounced Euler.
What does Wikipedia say? That's the important part. Is what does Wikipedia say?
Yeah, Wikipedia can't be edited. It comes straight from the hard facts.
Yep.
Okay, what does Wikipedia say?
I'm waiting on you.
Oh, I thought you were Googling it. Okay, let's see.
Just rumble.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see. Our boys at Wikipedia. It is pronounced Euler.
Oh, well, you know what?
What's Swiss? Whatever.
I never heard
Like
it like that
Switzerland's a country,
ever. So
Yeah, I haven't either. I've always called it Euler's number, and he did go to the University of Basel. So, what does he really know?
University of Basel. You really good at
Well, it's probably Basel, but it looks like Basel.
I don't really have a joke.
Look,
for
I'm
that,
saying,
to be honest.
he was some guy that decided math was cool by making letters in math. So, I mean, what else? Why do we really respect them?
Um, Logic uses letters.
Okay.
Can y'all hear
Who
me?
cares about logic?
Oh yeah, you are real quiet though, buddy.
I have no idea why. Oh.
Also,
No.
welcome to the podcast, Jitzel.
Oh my god, crap.
Oh, y'all on the podcast.
It's okay. We're discussing what's your favorite work of Euler?
What's my favorite work of who now?
There we go. That a babe. That's the question we wanted.
I'll allow it. It's a good answer.
I guess for the audience, this is Jitzel. I'm sick.
Yep.
And he is not in the SFL.
Yeah.
He's just here.
He's just here to watch this fake Royal Rumble whenever WWE 2K wants to work. That'll work.
Yeah, I have no idea when the recording crashed, but I've restarted it again. I'm not going to bother singing the Price is Right theme song again on accident.
Dun, 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 dun. Think Tony D'Angelo's theme.
We covered what our favorite work of Euler was.
I legit have no idea who Mueller is.
Apparently it's pronounced Euler.
Euler.
Yeah. He's a big mathematician back in the days where they used to wear big white wigs.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
If he's a mathematician, then that means he's my enemy.
Yeah, fair enough. The second question was how I became friends with Poliwag from a number guessing game. We joined a number guessing game at the same time, and he's my GM. That's about it. Very exciting story.
Good talk, good talk, good talk, good
time.
talk.
I have nothing really to add to that. Known him for like 5 years, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna skip Huds' first question here.
Oh boy.
Hey, all right, it's what would it take to make Juni kind of the boss around here? And the answer is everybody saying it wrong. But the next real question is, what would it take for Hall to overtake Juni and become sort of the boss around here?
So you call me up, right?
I'm calling
And then start me at quarterback at my 350 TPE, right? Everyone on the team revolts because we don't win any games. And when they fire you, I slowly sneak my way in because, look, guys, if I'll say make PM and the boss, I'll change to a position that's useful, and we'll get a real quarterback.
So
and everyone will do it.
Why didn't you do that in PvE? Oh God, I
don't know. Hey, look, PvE, I was already a championship-winning pitcher when you brought me in, so that's on you.
Yeah. Believe it or not, Hall used to be my boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, 30 seasons ago.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's a lot of seasons. Who the fuck is
Whoa,
Dax
Brian
Harwood?
Danielson!
This is such a random mix of people.
What half of FTR? Just call him FTR Bald.
Bald. Alright, so next question's a good one. What is each of your favorite experiences in the league? Why? And can you tell a story around those experiences? I'll let you cook on that.
Okay.
Or do you have one ready? Do you have one ready, or?
Yeah, I got. If I got one ready, unless you got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite experience was probably winning the Ultimate in Baltimore by final.
That's boring. It's a boring answer.
Yeah, I know it's a boring answer. What do you want me to do? Say my favorite moment was when Dylan Deluxe decided to link all of Beck's secret chat league. Is that what you wanted me to say? Is that what you want? You want all the gooner shit like everybody else does? Like, hey, Hall, what happened when everybody hated each other and started fighting? Like everybody else wants? Is that what you want, Juni?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, yeah. No, that was my favorite part is when everybody started hating each other and most people said they're going to kill themselves because they hate the league so much. And the old commissioner made a 13 Reasons Why tape about how everyone sucks. That was my favorite part of being in the league.
Jesus Christ.
It happens more often than you would think.
It really does. It really happened. People, I'll be honest, listen, anybody listening to this, which if you're listening to this, and you know what, I'm probably not targeting you, but there's a lot of soft people in simulation leagues. that get way too emotional about fake dots. Be honest, you're mad about numbers on the screen that aren't real.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes just take a deep breath.
Yeah. You've been a GM. I'm a current GM. I really don't care whether I win or not. You know, I couldn't give a shit. Dude, I'll be honest. I try and win. I do not care. I don't watch games. I don't pay attention to who wins. I don't check box scores unless somebody asks me to do. I do not care.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of there to vibe and, like, do stupid shit, and that's about it.
Jinder Mahal was in this Rumble about as long as he was in WWE.
Jinder Mahal was here? Will Ospreay's here! My dream match of Will Ospreay and Tony D'Angelo, baby.
Yes. Every night Jinder goes to sleep. He goes, man, I can't wait till Ospreay fights Ivar.
Juni, if you said that in a serious manner, I would fly to your house and hang you by your balls.
Tony D'Angelo's gone!
Hell yeah.
It's me, Tony D'Angelo. I'm the Don.
Anyway, I guess for viewers who are new to my presence, I'm kind of mean sometimes.
And in case you didn't know this, he's probably the biggest WWE stan in the chat.
I'll kill you.
My favorite experience of the league is probably just not related to actual league stuff, but just hanging out and meeting people. You know, playing games with people is always fun. You know, nothing actually league related do I genuinely care about that much. I had a walk-off punt return touchdown. That was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was kind of about it. We hated Chicago for some reason.
Who doesn't hate Chicago?
I don't remember why. I'm pretty sure everybody in Philly at one time had a no-trade clause towards them.
The problem, because Chicago had some questionable leadership at one point.
What the fuck is with Shawn Michaels' hair? Is this old Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, it's old man Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
So Chicago had some questionable leadership at one point that was very much didn't know what they were doing, and we made some trades where we kind of fleeced them, and their GMs and their players really didn't like us up to that point. And they also were very much the weeb team. Like, they had all of, like, the big weeb anime nerds all on the same team that were really just out there. So I think everyone in general was just kind of like, nah, we don't want to go there.
Yeah, and in Philly, we were all big dude bros, you know.
Big dude bros.
Just dude broing up, dude.
Every Monday, we turned on Monday Night Raw, and we looked at each other and said, bro, that dude is so strong. Me, when I see Seth Rollins, like, and, you know, because we're dude bros, that we watched Seth Rollins.
And we had a kegger in Discord every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, keggers were out.
Yeah.
We were keg standing every night.
Just posting photos of keg stands in Discord, be like, bro, this could be me right now.
And bro, every time we would leave the gym, we'd give each other ab pics, be like, yo, inspo, right? And then everyone would be like, goals. Because we were so dude bros like that.
My story of that, my actual story of that happening was I was doing something else completely unrelated, not paying attention to the league, not because the last time I watched an actual sim, and someone pings me and said, "Hey Juni, you did a punt return touchdown." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool," and then I didn't think about it for a while. It's my biggest achievement. I was not there for it live. Next question is go into full detail of the explanation and timeline explaining the PP emote saga. Okay, so this was a weird thing. So you know, like the Simon Fury emote. Yeah. Fury Simon. I had like 6 or 7 of those, but HUDs kept posting this one that was just called PP, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Sergeant Slaughter's here. So it just didn't make any sense. I'm like, this is Fury Simon. Why the fuck is it called PP? And he's like, you'll never know. And I spent, I don't know, like 2 weeks trying to figure out what server like this PP emote was from. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. There's got to be like some like weird reason why it's called pee-pee. Because like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have like a pee-pee like face, like crying face, whatever, like at all. Like nothing to do with Guy Fieri, and then finally he invites me the server. I think it was the Minnesota server, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we just named after somebody that used it." It's like, what the fuck? He baited me for weeks with this, and it pissed me off every time. I was like, I don't know why he used it. Just use a regular Fieri assignment. I was so mad. It's the stupidest reason. And,
I do love this Simon saga throughout the league because every server has a Simon, but they're all named something slightly different, and it's just always wild to see a Simon and trying to figure out which server that one came from.
Yeah, I mean, I have like, let me see, how many Fieri Simons do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of them. It's Fieri Simon, Fieri Simon, Fieri Simon Reverse, Fieri Simon 1, and Guy Fieri.
Hey.
And some of them aren't even ISFL related. It's just one of those random emotes out there. Okay, Carmelo Hayes versus Will Ospreay.
Oh yes.
It's a dream match. Oh, he hasn't missed, baby.
Him.
Anyways, that was good questions. Next is from OMG. This is league adjacently related.
Okay.
For me, he wants to know my favorite and least favorite town of Salem Roll. My favorite town of Salem Roll is now Retributionist, because I get to spend extra days memeing. And nobody can say I'm playing it wrong. Well, they can, and they can be right, but I can also just not care.
That's more to the Jester role in Werewolf.
Well, yeah. Well, hold a minute. Here's hold a minute. Your werewolf question's next. Calm down.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Like, as a retributionist, you need town to die. So, it's okay if I vote town day 1 and they die because I get to use their power, use their ability the next day. It's a win-win for me. The next question is, Hall, what is your favorite and least favorite werewolf roles and why? Oh, I'll get the least favorite afterward.
No, least favorite. This is for the people that have been in the old Werewolf server. Was the anything from the Harry Potter game, and anything from the Congress game. Any roles in that were the worst roles in the history of Werewolf. They were all just dog shit roles. But anything, all the normal ones, I absolutely hate being Jester, because one of those, like, you play like yourself, people will kind of trust you like at a basic level, but if you play really wild, they know immediately you're trying to be a Jester, so it's kind of a weird role. Our favorite
RVD's here.
RVD's here. RVD.
The whole fucking show.
RVD versus Will Ospreay, baby.
This is actually Dream Man.
And also Ultimate Warriors here.
Yeah. But favorite would probably be I think the favorite role I've ever been is I created a Cupid role, and everyone hated it immediately because they found out that if you make a town fall in love with a werewolf, that lover will tell all of town who the werewolves are, so the lovers win. So I absolutely love that. That was great.
I played one lovers game in Town of Salem. It was awful.
My favorite regular generic role is gotta be a Mason, especially if I'm Mason with somebody that I know I can bounce off of and lie about. It's always great. Like, if you get a good Mason partner where you can just bullshit your way and pretend you're not Masons, and they'll help back up everything you say, it's great.
I have no clue how that works, but I'll take it. Jerry the King Lawler's coming.
Jerry the King Lawler in this.
One of my favorite special roles is we did a game where It was a ringleader role, and you had clowns, and your job was to make somebody else in town square say a word, and if they said a word, they became a clown. That was fun because it was just me bullshitting and sending like 1,000 or 2,000 messages in a single day, talking about random shit. And that's when I decided I would stop being serious.
We had a role once. I think I don't know if it was the new server had or the old server, but. You could pick. You were a neutral role, and you could pick somebody each day, and basically they could only speak gibberish in chat. And that one was an absolutely wild one to have for a little bit.
It feels hard to enforce.
It's basically whoever gets hit with it, kind of really good at following it. So it's kind of you gotta buy into it.
That makes sense. My least favorite role in Town of Salem is. I don't know. I feel like any role blocking role is kind of boring, but I don't dislike any role. I feel like in Town of Salem the roles are pretty secondary to the rest of the game.
Werewolf's kind of the same. Mostly just lying to your friends.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee's here, boys.
Oh,
our camp's here.
He's a luchador, everybody. What's in your ideal taco?
Ideal taco?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think it depends
I am a
mood.
sucker. I'm a sucker for white people tacos. I'm not gonna lie. I am a sucker for white people tacos. Just your ground beef with some seasoning, seasoned lettuce. But I am a big fan. In real tacos, I am a big fan of some carne asada, and some of black beans. Oh god, black beans and rice are so fucking good.
Good Dominic Mystico is here. He's so hot.
Little bit. My North Carolina's coming out. A little bit of Texas Pete.
What? All right. Yep. All right. Fine. Whatever.
I mean, taco sauce is good, but you get a little bit of Texas Pete. You got that little spice in there. Delicious.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm a big chorizo fan. I eat chorizo on almost anything.
Too.
I love that. Can't think of too much going on. I can't think of the name of it right now. But that crumbling, that Mexican crumbling cheese.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And then some corn and pico.
Dragon Lee just eliminated Osprey. Everyone thought we're setting up a WrestleMania angle with that.
Boston Connor's on a tear, dude. But yeah, that's weird. What about you, Jitsu?
I can say one thing. I'm a big fan of quesadillas. Like I kind of skip quesadillas. They're so good.
What's your ideal taco, Jitsu?
My ideal taco is ground beef, cheese, and I'm a fan of breakfast tacos. So add some potato and eggs to that.
Oh yeah, love a good breakfast taco.
Breakfast taco's good.
What's anybody's views on Bapple? Personally, I have zero thoughts on it. I have not thought about Bapple before this question, and I will probably not think about it after this question.
Apple?
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
You want me to Google it?
Probably some inside joke and yeah.
Is that how you say apples? You're part of the Bloods?
It's a nickname for Bush Light Apple. What the fuck?
Oh. Yeah. I'm not a beer drinker. So
yeah, I don't really drink beer either. So.
I'm a classy bitch. I drink Tito's and pineapple juice.
Oh yeah, baby. Give me a good White Claw. Oh, I'm partying, baby.
3 for 3 here. I also don't drink beer.
Yeah.
Who
still drinks beer in 2025? Grow up.
Give me a good Mike's Hard, baby. Oh,
actually though, a Mike's Hard? Yeah, Mike's Hard fucks.
I'll pound one of those back a month, baby. Oh boy.
Mike, a little spiked lemonade. Oh, baby.
Oh yeah.
Why is Mike hard?
Why wouldn't Mike be hard?
Hey, you know what? If you tasted this lemonade, that's why.
Nathan Frazier's here. Dominic Mysterio versus Nathan Frazier. It's my dream match, baby.
Dragon Lee.
Yeah, Dragon Lee's here. You know.
I'm glad we're ending this Rumble with all the mid cards.
Yeah.
Backward.
Who do you think deserves?
Yeah, this is.
Wait, is that we're on 30? Who's number 30? No, it's Oba
No, it's 29. Oba Femi's there.
I was about to say this Rumble started out really good and it just shit itself.
But it's Mankind versus Oba Femi, baby.
Oba Femi's the GOAT. I don't want to hear shit. Oba Femi's the fucking GOAT. And just like Triple H booking, he's letting a white guy beat the shit out of him in a Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Who deserves ISFL Rookie of the Year? I think Lay in the Trenches deserves ISFL Rookie of the Year because he's getting his one season as a running back and then changing to safety, baby. Yellowknife is really good at taking star running back or future. Pat McAfee's number 30. Fuck!
We gotta get that celeb plug.
We already had Boston Connor and fucking Ty Schmidt here.
Somehow slightly better than this year's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, they're Rise for Rookies. This next coming season, it's going to be Adam Vittori, Mr. Hawkeye himself, is going to get Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mine was going to say Vittori. I think he should get it now, just a preemptive, because he's going to be so good next year.
I owe him 2 DSFL award SIGs still, so I really need to get on those. If Pat McAfee eliminates Oba Femi, I'm going to quit right now. Anyways, Adam Vittori, Hawkeye, keep your eye on him. He's going to be the best player in the ISFL. He's going to win MVPs as kicker. And what the fuck did Pat McAfee just do to Oba Femi?
I don't know, man.
Insane. All right. This one's from Too Sweet. This is a good one.
Ooh, sweet!
Hall, if you could have done one thing different about your honorary Oos build, what would it have been and why? Besides, I'm gonna say, besides being shit, what else could you have done?
Honestly, now that I've sat back and I've seen the arc that Oos has had, I wish I'd have made him faster. I really do. I think he's a little too slow. I think if he could run faster, instead of throwing the ball as slow as he does, he could just run really fast and let the ball just glide out of his hand. Kind of like when you put say you have a ladder on top of a truck. You drive that truck really fast and hit the brakes, and the ladder goes flying off. I think if he could hold the football up, run really fast, and then stop quickly, the ball would fly so much farther than he could throw it. I think I should have made him faster.
For context, Honorary Oos is his quarterback player. He made a running quarterback, and he decided he was going to ignore the quarterback part of it and just focus on the running. So he made a running back play quarterback, basically.
Yes.
But he was but he was basically a shit running back and a shit quarterback.
I'm a good runner. I just don't run a lot.
You were a mediocre running back and a bad quarterback.
I'm just going to blame my wide receivers for not blocking well enough. I think they're too greedy. They want to catch the ball when they should be blocking for Oos. I think that's what the problem is.
Can we even set wide receivers to blocking?
No.
I don't think we can do that. No. We can set our tight ends to blocking. We can't set wide receivers to blocking.
We need to make blocking wide receiver archetype just for Oos. Oos is changing the game.
All right.
Oos is absolutely changing the game.
Yeah, we're gonna change Oos. For me, Juni, if you could have one ridiculous meme player, what position archetype are you going? My dream. I have one ISFL dream, and that is to play a return specialist that does not take a single snap at wide receiver. I want to finish my career with 0 targets. I want to only receive do special teams. Special teams only. You basically can't because teams can't afford it. There's no way. Oh my God, Dominic! What the fuck? That was insane.
That was cool. That was cool.
If this is Dom versus Pat McAfee, I'm gonna cry, dude. Oh my God, dude!
That's that powerbomb. Oh my God! He can run over Fibby. Over Fibby, no. Over Fibby, no.
Anyway, yeah, I want a player that doesn't take a single snap at wide receiver. I don't want to be in the depth chart. I don't want to be in a backup anywhere. I only want to return. Why is because
Booyaka,
hilarious.
6'9".
Who the fuck drops a 619 in a Royal Rumble? You're not getting him the wrong direction.
Dominic Mysterio does.
Oh no, it's gonna be Pat McAfee versus Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, that would be fun. It won't ever happen, but it'd be cool.
No, it would be cool. You've been trying to do that since your first player.
This is my first play. I've been trying to do that, but the problem is that just the league has too much the cap balance is too tight. Oh my god, double chokeslam. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Michael Cole. I said that. Yeah. With the cap situation that teams have, like teams are like, if you're competing, you're almost always like at the cap. So you'd have to be like, you'd have to only like go to teams that are not good, and it's just not fun because free agency is basically dead. So.
Yeah, that's always been the problem with the league. There's never been like a good free agency.
Like, it's easy to be a meme player in SHL because you only have offense and defense. But because ISFL has so many different, like, you have to be a specific position. There's so many, only X of certain positions. Like, there's only, like, one TE on each team. You can't be a meme TE because then you're wasting a TE spot. Like, I can be a meme forward in SHL because I can just go play forward on a different team, which is what I did. All right. This is from Darkness. Darkness has a bunch of good questions here.
Okay, nice.
As Darkness does. First part, question 1 is, how do you think the ISFL portal is going to elevate the league, and what's the biggest advantage upside it's had so far?
It is definitely a whole lot easier to update, and track your updates, and track your TPE.
Oh God, Pat
like in general. Over 3-1. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Time to do
but it's definitely it's so much easier because it's like I don't have to go through and find all my PTs and look at all the weekly stuff and add it over. It's so much easier. Oh, cool, there's my PTE. Now let me update. Like you don't have to copy and paste a million times. Like I've always done it on my phone. It's so much easier on your phone than it used to be. It's great.
Yeah, I'll say like I've been a mid-earner to an inactive player a lot, and the biggest reason is not because I can't do the tasks. I just don't want to make my claims. And so I just will never claim for like 2 seasons, and then I'll just dump everything around. Because it's just not fun to go and collect all that stuff. And so I think the fact that you don't have to do that anymore will make things a lot better for just mid-earners. So I think we've had a problem with like retention in the past. I think we'll have a lot easier time with keeping people this time around. A lot easier is to be like a mid-earner instead of just going inactive. What the fuck? I forgot I had Moon Knight. Yeah, it's easier just to be a mid-earner and just not go inactive. So the second part, there would be advantage upside. Any other upsides? It's easier to like view your team like real quick. I forgot what I was doing. It's like from a GM management, kind of easier to see just like who you have on your team, like what their status is, and call them up and stuff like that. It's not like a big like game changer, but it's kind of nice just to have.
That makes sense because you're basically combining the TPE tracker and your update. It's all together right there, so it's all kind of like a live look versus having to like look at everything separately.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in the future for it. Obviously, I'm not going to contribute because the recording broke. We were talking about this, but I've been working like 18 hours a day lately. Just between work and kids, I just don't have time for personal projects, so I will not be helping.
Yeah.
If I did not have kids or a wife, or video games, or books, or models, or my phone, or a life, I would probably help. But I won't. So if we're only halfway through, I'd switch to a women's rumble.
Oh yeah.
Besides that, let's see. Oh my God! Never mind. I know what the biggest benefit is. Regression. Oh my God! Regression is so much easier now. You don't have to calculate it yourself. So much easier.
That makes sense. Progression's hands down the worst part about the league.
Yeah. Updating was never was a big problem, but doing regression for your inactives was awful. So much easier now. How would you set up Yellowknife season in a haiku? It's 5-7-5, right? Dude, I should have prepared for this. While I'm preparing a haiku, talk about your IRL life. Anything newsworthy IRL to share? From either of you?
I'm an electrician.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm willing to give out on a podcast.
No, that's fair. IRL wise, I really don't have nothing like crazy. I mean, just living life, playing video games poorly, doing all the big dog things.
I'm extremely lucky on a Gundam Gacha game.
Oh, it's time. That's a big IRL. That's a big IRL for me.
Wait, Hall, does your audience know what Gacha is?
Oh, absolutely, they know what Gacha games are.
Okay.
You have a bunch of, I'm gonna say this again, a bunch of nerds in this. I mean, literally, we're talking about a fake football league that's run on dots. So I'm pretty sure what Gacha stuff is.
In that case, to help vamp for time, I will go into detail about the Gacha pool I got.
Yeah.
There's a limited banner about 2 weeks ago that had 2 ultra rare units, and I just had spare diamonds laying around. I was like, let me try this shit. And then I bought the banner, and I got 2 ultra rare units, both the ultra rare units that were only on that limited time banner. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, Bandai Namco. I'm never giving you my money again.
Which is good, because Bandai Namco has a history of not keeping up their Gundam games. Gundam Breaker,
No.
Battlelog, oh my god, not Battlelog. Battlelog was the anime. I'm so pissed they canceled Gundam Breaker. It was a good Gunpla mobile game. I'm sorry, and they canceled it. Pissed me off. Anyways, here's my haiku. So much potential, but again,
Always
sim
a butt.
gonna sim.
Yep. Sim always sim.
I hate TPE.
That's a good one.
It was gonna be that or please ban offensive line. The fair rubs movement is the worst thing to happen to the league ever. Offensive line. Everybody who wanted offensive line in the league is gone because it was boring. They all left because it was a boring fucking position. I had to play it 3 times. It's not fun. It's so important to the team, but it's so not fun. It's Bear Rub's worst thing to happen in the league. I think we should get rid of offensive line, and I'll die on that hill that we should get rid of the offensive line position. Yeah, that's how I feel bad. IRL. Let's see. Logan's going to kindergarten this year. He just finished his first season of T-ball. He says he wants to do it again. We'll see how he feels, on a day-to-day basis. He's going to take swim lessons soon. I'm very busy at work, loading 5 or 6 audits at the same time. Other people loading the audits. I'm maintaining the application to load the audits being run in. Mowed my lawn today, and when it was pouring rain. I may have to get shoulder surgery again. That's going to be fun. I have an MRI next week again because I've been in constant pain since November again. I'm finally biting the bullet and finishing Gundam Zeta. Oh my god, I absolutely hate the fucking main character. Oh my god, I've been going to jizzle about this for 2 weeks. I just do not like the main character. He's awful. He's a snot-nosed piece of shit brat. He's the main character. He's unlikable. You murdered my friend. Bitch, you were in a fucking war. You were trying to kill him 2 seconds ago.
It's different. It's his murder.
Yeah, he's like, I can't believe you murdered him. You were trying to kill him. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm a big Gundam fan, but Zeta has just been unwatchable for me, and I'm finally doing it just to say I did, basically. And I'm not enjoying any of it. I don't even like the main Gundam. I don't like the Zeta Gundam. I like the Zeta 3. I like the Zeta 2. Don't like the Zeta Gundam. It's got like a fucking like duckbill looking face. I don't like it. It was like the first transforming Gundam, in the second series, so really not crazy. But the wing, I hate to compliment the wing, but the wing Gundam did it slightly better.
Okay.
The problem with the wing Gundam is the wing Gundam is not even in the best Gundam in its own goddamn show.
Yeah, Death Sight takes the cake.
Death Sight takes the cake. The Sandrock Gundam's cooler, and the Heavy R's Gundam are all cooler than the wing Gundam.
Yeah.
The Death Scythe Hell is one of the coolest Gundams ever made. It's basically, what if we took all the edge we could possibly think of and put it into one Gundam, and it works.
Okay.
Why am I still looking at my goddamn haiku? Anything else newsworthy-wise? I'm still at GM somehow, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I was originally going to be like just a placeholder GM, and now I've been doing it for getting closer to a year.
Really? You've only been a year?
I think I started in September, so I'm like 9 months now. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah. So, I occasionally participate in rules voting. I just do whatever. It's great. A lot of fun. It's going better than my time in PvE. So, anything else newsworthy-wise? Not really. My parents just got back from Iceland. It's cool.
Oh, nice.
Iceland to buy me maps. They couldn't find a single map. It's crazy. Joe DeVark's here.
The GOAT.
So, his last question is, look after yourselves and make sure you enjoy life. Oh, sorry, wait, I missed a question. Why is Darkness still your favorite HO dictator?
He's the only one that listens to me.
Well, every other dictator has hated you.
That's true. I have a bad with HO.
Oh my god, how fast was Joan of Arc gone? Jesus Christ. I didn't even see her in the match. Yeah, you've just been really good at picking fights with HO members. So
they started.
No, I think you definitely don't help.
If they don't want to be bad HO members, then they shouldn't be bad.
You got him. You know what? I got nothing. Darkness is my favorite HO dictator because I think he has one of the best players in ISFL history. So,
that's big words there.
Yeah, I'll say I think so. No Colby Jack, but he's up there. Kai Sakurai's up there. I've talked a lot in podcasts about how much I think Kai Sakurai was one of the best. So, last question here is: look after yourselves, make sure you enjoy life. What line of wisdom can you drop on us right now?
Line of wisdom.
Yeah. My line of wisdom is it's only game. Why you have to be mad?
Oh, yeah. Got him.
But really,
that's all fact.
But really, it's the ISFL. It's just a bunch of dots. Just take a breath. It's not going to affect your
way to do scouting isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not worth it.
Yeah. Scouting most
the changed in percentage from 70 to 73% doesn't make up for the sim doing what it wants and your quarterback randomly throwing 5 interceptions. Or the updater's not updating, or the simmer not simming. or them putting a quarterback at defensive tackle. No matter how much you stim test, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win. So many people say, "Oh my God, we tested this and we had a 78% win percentage." Doesn't mean anything. There's still that. Everyone swears they need to do a re-stim test loss because they had a high percentage. Stim testing's not worth it. You find a setup that's worked good enough and just ride it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I've always been on that line of thinking. I sim tested a lot a couple seasons ago, just because my co was sim testing a lot and I wanted to help a lot. Didn't really agree with it, but I'm a sucker for being a people pleaser. Plus, I like looking at numbers and building spreadsheets to help translate numbers and stuff like that. So sim testing is actually really kind of a kink, I guess. I don't care for the testing. I don't care whether we test or not. I just like looking at the numbers it produces and just analyzing those numbers. I don't know if kink was the right word, but I'm gonna stick with it.
It was a weird one to go with, but you do you.
It's a character from 100 Girlfriends.
What other word would you pick? It's my
Obsession.
Yeah, obsession's a much better word.
All right, I was gonna go with fetish, so we'll take obsession.
All right, that's still the same character from 100 Girlfriends. I have some life advice that I would like to say as I ripcord out because my throat is killing me and I need to sleep.
Yeah.
My life advice is never shit in a public restroom.
Honestly, that's good advice. That's actually legitimately good advice. You don't know whose butt's been where.
What if it's the only one and you're driving 6 hours?
Hey, you know what? Hold it in.
Hold it in.
Keep that in mind.
Thank you, podcast audience. I hope I wasn't too obnoxious. Thank you for having me on.
I take care of yourself, Jitzel. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
Right. Thank you. Peace.
There was some ISFL history I did want to talk about.
Okay.
So, I have it saved on my phone here. Pretend I'm vamping here. We're gonna cut this out. I'm definitely not gonna cut it out.
Bam.
I want to talk about I want to get your thoughts on a full rebuild versus slowly retooling every few seasons.
So the thing about sim leagues is you really can't do a full rebuild just because of doing a rebuild like you have in real sports. It's trading off vets, bringing in young people, starting over, being cheap. Doing that absolutely can ruin a locker room, and so much of a success in sim leagues is having a good locker room. So, you can't just trade off everybody. Be like, oh, we'll save money, we can retool, because ISFL doesn't work like that. You can't make a big splash in free agency later because free agency is not really a thing. Everyone takes the minimum every time they do it, and if you're a place that's going to trade people off like crazy, you're not going to get the buy-in from people that actually gives you free agencies and people wanting to play for you. So you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. So it's always a constant retool, but it's rarely a full-on rebuild. Now, every now and again, there's a situation where a player's like, look, I want to go somewhere I can win. I'm at 1,000 TP. I've only got a couple seasons left. I'm going to trade me. That happens, and you kind of, I guess, retool/rebuild. But it's very rare where you're like, I'm dropping all of the top. We're going to suck 4 seasons so we can build draft picks. Very rare. That, away and keeping the same GM. Baltimore went through a full rebuild, but it's because everyone got fired by HO, and we basically started over from scratch.
What if I tell you that multiple teams have gone through that full same GM, but we're going to cut everybody, and we're going to suck for 3 or 4 seasons in a row? It's become a lot more popular lately. I don't remember it ever happening when I joined, but Osaka.
The only time there was full rebuilds is because the GMs were terrible, and HO had to step in and say look, we got to get new GMs.
Yeah.
And when we took over Baltimore, They fired both of the GMs. We got there. No one in the war room wanted to be on the team anymore because they didn't agree with HO's decision. So we traded them all off for whatever picks we could get.
Mm-hmm.
That was basically our rebuild that ended up winning the championship a couple years later. But doing that all by yourself without like a HO stepping in and like a whole war room being traded off is very rare.
Yeah, it's a lot more common now. OCO just went through that, a big one. Colorado did that too, where they were really, really bad. And they are now at they now have 21,000 TPE. The lowest team in the league is Osaka with 10,000. So Colorado has more than double the TPE Osaka does. Black Forest just called up.
Wow, crazy.
Black Forest had like Osaka used to be Chicago. Weird.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Black Forest had like 2 really bad seasons where they basically had all bot players, and they just called up 11 true rookies. They have 12,000 TPE. Cape Town and Sarasota are like having some pretty like big rebuilds too. I don't know when the big flip on the switch was, but like I'd say more recently, a lot more teams are going through like the big, we're going to get rid of everybody and completely rebuild the team. And I absolutely hate it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like Osaka just had like, they sold everybody and they had like 7 or 8 picks in the first 2 rounds of the last draft.
See, this is something I propose all the time when I was the GM. I wish that drafted players couldn't take contracts. Like a first round pick had to be a $4 million contract, a second round $3 million, and then $2 million in minimum from there. Because I think it would really help with these younger players that aren't like because then so many of these newer players don't have these $1 billion bank accounts that a lot of these recreates have. But they're forced to have to do a ton of work to keep up with recreate. It'd be nice to say, like, hey, this is a new player. They got drafted in the first round. You have to pay him $4 million on a rookie. Give them a little extra money so you're not calling them up immediately, paying them $1 million for 3 years, and just making them do all the work for you.
Yeah. Well, if they get the same that ASFL, they still get $4 million. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Like if they get called up instantly, they're only getting that $1 million for a while.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you traded for 3 first-round picks. That's cool, but that means you have to pay $12 million that you have to pay for each one of those.
I think it would work out because I feel like if you're trading for 3 first-round picks, you don't have any players, and you should be able to afford that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you're not going like, okay, now when all these first-round picks that you got are good and players now, your whole roster is not this dominant roster, and you're paying $2 million for your best players on your team.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know if it would.
It'll never pass. I've tried for years that it never passed. Never even got like more than a vote.
I think the problem is that like the entire like salary structure would have to change.
Yeah.
Which I don't like the ways salaries work in the ISFL anyways.
Yeah.
There's no room for like any mistakes. You cannot afford to keep anybody that's basically not on the minimum contract if you want to compete.
Yeah. So it makes free agency suck. You're never going to get in a bidding war with a team, like unless it's a player that doesn't care about winning or anything. They just want to say, I want to get money because I want money.
Yeah.
It's very rare to have an actual legitimate bidding war or an actual legitimate free agency. It would be nice if a team's like, I want to bring you back, but I can't. Like that rarely happens in ISFL.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to say like, hey, this lost their quarterback because they couldn't afford a 1,000 TPE player. Or if they wanted to, they had to make some massive trades or cut to get under the salary cap. Mm-hmm. That just doesn't happen.
These don't actually fit any of the. These don't fit any of the things that Joe said, but that's fine. I still think it's an important.
Yeah.
I think the league structure and the salary structure is not. I think a lot of people also have a problem where they try to like equate it to real life too much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not like real life at all, because like you're not, one team isn't getting more money because they have better players and they draw more people and they have a bigger media contract. And so like there should be better ways to get people like it's hard to encourage movement because there's no reason to move at all.
No, unless you just don't like a GM or you've got a friend that joined the league and they play for a certain team or no.
The only reason to like ever like chase free agency is if you're like chasing Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have to go into
or you're stuck with a team that's rebuilding, or you got drafted to a team you don't like and you're like, well, I'm just going to play for a year for them and then I'm going to go to the team I want to friends. Which is how Colorado's been built historically.
It's all, Arizona's the much bigger one on that right now. Colorado is actually had a lot of like new gen players recently. It's been really good about that. But people come out about Arizona, but I personally have no qualms with it because like the league's kind of structured to like encourage that in a way.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, forcing and like leaving a team to go to another team. I'm like, I understand the argument about, well, you don't have to play with your friends, but like at the same time, there's no reason not to.
Yeah, unless you fix the salary structure, that'll never go away.
Yeah.
Because if you make it where it's too expensive for people to play with their friends, then that won't,
Yeah, and like
they're always going to play with their friends.
And if you're like real life friends too, like you're inclined to want to help them win.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
you want them to stay in the league.
Yeah, I don't want to say like morally inclined, but like you're inclined to want your friends to do well, and so like your incentive, you have a lot more incentive. The only incentive you have is to like help your friend because you're going to get paid and have the same like sim experience on both teams. So the only incentive you have separate from other teams is to play for your friend. Like, oh, you could join a rebuild and watch a team from scratch. Yeah, but you're watching dots wrestle. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Not wrestling. You're watching them play football. Same thing. You're watching a bunch of dots go back and forth on the screen. I could like you could just watch the pipe screensaver. You get this more exciting effect, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'll say it publicly. I have zero problem with forcing. I do not care. I understand that people care.
Forcing in a DSFL. Most of these recreates are going to be in the DSFL for 1 year. Why are you ruining a draft for new players just because you don't want to play for a certain team in the minors for one season?
Yeah.
Like,
and like you can say
that I don't understand.
Yeah. I think the only argument against forcing in the ISFL is competitive integrity. But
there's none of that in the league anyway.
I've been here so long, I just don't care anymore.
There's no parity in the league. Like, if a team's good, they're going to be good basically forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not because it's like, oh, team's good, so they have good people, and people want to play with the good people, and they become friends with the good people, so they keep having good people.
Yeah.
Like
I've never been on some of these teams that are like historically good, but maybe they're clearly doing something right that I'm not. I'm not going to complain. Whatever. Nobody wants to play for Yellowknife, whatever. I don't care. That's fine.
Like, most of your team building, like, not even just like X's and O's, but just like players, comes by if people like the GM in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares what the team does because it's not fucking real. It's just like, it's tip luck, it's whatever. But it's, if you have players on the team that people like, and you have a GM that people like, then the team will be good. That's just kind of all you need.
Yeah. I'd say out of all my time in the ISFL, I've maybe met like 3 to 4 players that care only about like their team or player performance. Most people are just kind of there to enjoy the locker room. And because of that, there's no real reason to not want to go back to your team. I mean, some people care about whether you win or not, but most people that are forcing are not forcing because they want to win. They're forcing because they like the people. And I think that's the problem with a lot of the issues people have with force. Like, oh, but they're just trying to win. I'm like, I don't think they're really just they're not rigging the league to win.
You know, they always played for Philly, so they want to go back to Philly.
Yeah.
Or they always played for this GM, so they want to play for that GM.
Yeah, and Arizona has a lot of like loyal people, and I find no fault with that, to be honest. It's frustrating, like, oh, I can't draft this guy because they want to go back to this team. Sure, but like, and in the end,
now
it's
I do
also
hate
like the mid
forcing. I do hate when new creates forced to an ISFL team because that feels almost tampering wise. Like if you're a brand new create, you just joined the league, and you're just like, oh, I only want to play for this team. It's like, come on, like that comes from rookie mentors and kind of like pushing, like, oh, these are the good teams, stuff like that. Like
I got a salute for my president, Chelsea Greenwood. But yeah, I agree.
Like so many of these teams have first overall picks and like, oh my god, this is the best player in the draft, hands down. I'm going to take them, and then they go, oh yeah, I'm only going to play for this team that has the last pick in the first round. Like, so I'm screwed out of the best player of the draft just because you talk to the rookie mentor that happens to play for that team, and you're like, well, I really like them, so I want to play for them. That sucks. Like I mean, I don't know if it's gotten better now, but when I was a GM, that was a big problem with like trying to rebuild as a bad team. Is you maybe didn't have as many RMs as some of the better teams do, so you'd get caught in situations like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's as big as a problem anymore. There's like, I can't think of that happening. Anything off the top of my mind?
Forcing anywhere?
Yeah, I can't think of any new creates that have been forcing into new teams. I think more of a problem now is I know of multiple times that people refuse to go to a team because of something that happened like 10, 12 seasons ago.
Well, I've been screaming fuck the Eddies. I kind of get that. Yeah. Well, I'd say Colorado is one of the people that it happens to. I think it's only happened to us once. But I'd say the problem with that is for a lot of these teams, like a lot of the people that were on the team when that happened are no longer on the team. Yeah.
Like, I know the people you're referring to in Colorado, and they have not been on the team in like a year.
Forever. Yeah.
Over a year in real life.
Yeah.
Some of them were just drafted back to Colorado, but they're like basically IA mid-earners and not really the core part of the team. The core has been so different for a lot of those teams for so long. Like I joke about Osaka, Chicago, but Django Rhino has not been part of that team for years.
Oh yeah, I know.
So, the whole league situation on that is, I understand why people are like frustrated, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as they make it out to be.
Yep.
Arizona's won a bunch recently, but Baltimore won so many times for a while. OCO was like really good for a long time. Nobody cared.
I did kind of get out, and they just kind of became a super dynasty.
Yeah, Baltimore was a super dynasty for a long time. I don't feel like it ever really came up.
Well, see, so what happened when I was a GM of Philly is I always wanted to draft new users. Like, I didn't want to draft a bunch of recreates. I didn't want to be a recreate team. I wanted to have an experience with new users. So, like, my first round pick for the most point was a new user to the league.
Yeah.
That was kind of how I built it, unfortunately. I mean, we had a great locker room, but it never really gave us the success because we'd have so many users that they would just not have as much fun. They wouldn't get their high TPE or their build was bad or whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it just wouldn't work out. So when I went to Baltimore, I just went, okay, whoever the highest TPE existing user that people love is in this, that's who I'm going to take. And so I took Big Red, and I took Infinite, I took Vex. I mean, and it worked out better because I knew they're not going to leave the league. They're going to build their player to be successful as they can. And everyone loves them, so they want to join the locker room to be with them. And it ended up making it a whole lot more successful of a team than just trying to draft on. Nothing against new users, but that's just how locker rooms are built. People want to be with people they like, and if these people are all in the draft at the same time, and you say, "Hey, I'm going to draft you and your friend at the same time," people love that.
Yeah, and I'd say the benefit of like recreates over new users is like you're drafting a known quantity. Like
Yeah.
like generally like what type of earning they're going to be.
Yep.
What they're going to contribute to the league, what they contribute to your team. It's a lot easier than risking it on a new user. I'd say it's definitely like, wow, that was a fast match. It's definitely possible you can have a new user that's great. There's almost always a new user every draft that's crazy, but it's safer to draft to recreate, especially if you're not like the first overall. Like if you pick first overall, you're pretty much always going to get a good person. So.
But like in a recreate, they're not just going to say like, you know what, I'm not like in the league anymore, or I'm busy. Like a lot of these recreates kind of devote a lot of their time to the league because they've got league jobs and shit like that. Like especially if you get an HO member or something, they're not going to just pack up one day and quit earning and go away.
Yeah.
Where a new user might just be like, I really had fun, but now that I've kind of gone through the whole draft process and now it's more of like a job, I don't know if I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy just to like burn up. You're like, you know what, I'm just not really into it.
I've gone through both of my draft processes, and now I'm actually in the league, and I'm like, you know what? The league part maybe wasn't as fun as I thought it was. I just want to just hang out locker rooms, you know?
And the league part does definitely get grindy after those first 2 seasons.
Yes.
For sure.
Especially you start doing your, PTs and your off-season task stuff, and it's just like, this is a lot.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you're like contributing to the league regularly for like a reason. It's kind of hard to kind of stay into it. So.
Yeah. But the problem is you get those really good new users and they want to be GMs, so you'll lose them for situations like that. So it's kind of like that give and take of like, I'm going to get this great user, but are they too great where they're going to leave because they get a job offer,
Yeah. Actually, it happened a lot with the Season 41 class, which was the last time you and I recreated. There was a lot of people who like really big new users, and a lot of them are still current GMs right now. But like they got drafted to the same teams. One of them was HO and a GM. Wiz just stepped down as GM. Uptown's a GM. Swoosh is a season 42, but he's a GM. Crony's a GM. I remember who else off the top of my head. Huds was a recreate in season 41 or something.
I think he was a recreate. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I know. There's like a few situations like. They got drafted to the same team, but like there was no like path for them to be GMs. They moved to a different team to be a GM. And
yeah,
it's definitely unless of course you have like a clear path for them. But even then, there's a lot of new players who want to be an ISFL GM really quick, and I think it definitely you need to have a lot more understanding of the league to be an ISFL GM or a GM in general. I think DSFL is fine.
So that's another thing
it's still
too.
Hard,
like,
actually, I don't know.
Another thing I kind of proposed when I was a GM is that you could not become an ISFL GM unless you were a DSFL GM first. Just because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I don't think new users really understand. So like getting thrown into an ISFL GM role is a lot at once.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with that is like there's still a lot of like difference between DSFL and ISFL.
Oh yeah, but you get the basics of like how the draft process works, how to make a depth chart, like how like you get the basics of it.
Yeah,
and then ISFL you can learn more of the higher level stuff.
Yeah, the higher level stuff like shit posting in GM chat and then voting on rules every once in a while
and calling HO bad.
Yeah, we don't do that as much anymore actually.
Well, sounds like they hired more GMs that like HO.
Oh my god, I was busier in the draft this season because we didn't have any picks like the 4th round, so I just did not care. But I looked back, and not a single other GM put a poop emoji on every pick.
I was telling these kids, man. These kids
don't respect tradition. You have to poop react to
that's what I'm saying. Like,
single draft.
We have too many young GMs that don't know. Like if hiring a new creator as a co-GM is one thing. Like if they have like a veteran GM with them, but when you get these like these duos, like these GM and a co-GM that have no history of GMing. It's like,
they're not poop reacting, and they're trying to propose rules to change the league. Like, yeah, just be like the rest of us and just not care.
Yeah. So like that was one thing I always said is like have if it's a developmental league, it always has been, even though it's super hyper competitive and has rivalries that are way more heated than the ISFL's rivalries.
Yeah.
But like you're gonna make it developmental for players, make it for the GMs too, so they can learn how to be GMs. Because how many fucking punishment threads do we see of DSFL GMs because of small things that they didn't know? It's like let that be their where they learn to make those mistakes, and don't treat it so competitively.
You say it in a competitive. I got kicked out of GMing because I wasn't competitive enough.
But DSFL shouldn't be. That's what I hate. Is DSFL should be about developing and keeping young new users in the league. Yeah. Because like the DSFL GMs are the first GMs new users see in the league. And if we get GMs that are like, well, look, I'm drafting you, but you're not going to play for 2 seasons because I already have a guy in this position that's not going to get called up because he wants to dominate in the DSFL. Like, stuff like that shouldn't happen because you're kicking players out.
Yeah, I'd say in general, I don't think that happens as much in the DSFL anymore. I think it still does occasionally, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's rough.
Yeah.
Do you like my arena?
I do. It's kind of a lot of black and red.
Yeah, all right, you know what? Just because there's a certain groups of people that have co-opted the best color scheme out there is not my fault. Black and red is a slick color scheme, and it's not my fault it's been co-opted by other people. So shut up. I was going to ask if you like the J Usos on every...
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, just... There's a lot of things I would like to do to change the ISFL, but in the end of the day, I think it's just more about the community than anything else.
Yeah, it's always, yeah.
It's basically one giant social experiment with the... oh my god, Boogeyman! It's a giant social experiment with the veil of competitive dots around it.
Yeah.
Well, we're at 1 hour and 6 minutes, so I think we're pretty good. We covered all our questions, and we talked about some league stuff I wanted to talk about. Not going to get 2.5 time either. That's okay. Any closing thoughts?
Oos is you guys don't understand how good he is now, but your kids are going to love it. I'm just saying. This build might not be it now, but one day it's going to be the meta.
Are you going to do your PTs or no?
Oh, no, absolutely not. PTs suck.
I don't know why
PTs are the worst part of the league.
I don't know why you thought you were going to be a quarterback.
I just wanted to be one of DSBL because it's fun.
All right, well,
I knew I wouldn't be an ISFL quarterback.
You told all these ISFL GMs that you were only you had to be a quarterback, and now they're gonna think that you forced to me because I knew you weren't gonna be. You max earned for 1 season. Fault. I was like, there's no way he keeps up.
That's their fault for not looking at the history of all my players and realizing I had no way I get over 500 PP.
Yeah, technically,
that's on them for not doing research.
You basically soft forced to me because nobody wanted to take you because you were a quarterback. I was like, he's not going to stick with it, guys. And they're like, and I'm like, but like you kept saying you were, and I was like, he's not going to do it. I'm like, people like other people, somebody else scouted you, and they were like, he says he's only going to play quarterback. I'm like, no, he's not.
Yep.
I guarantee you, he's going to hit like 500 TP, he's going to quit, and he's just going to do like ACs. That's it.
Look, this season I already missed my the season predictions, and I was like, well, there it is.
Season predictions, like, yep. You can't have missed season predictions yet because they're not due yet.
No, I missed last season's predictions.
Oh, I don't care about that. Whatever.
But no, I missed it, so I was already like, "Oh, there goes my max earning. Already done."
You weren't even max earning by the time the draft. You were max earning until the draft, and you stopped.
Yep, pretty much. Once the draft happened, I was like, "Oh, Juni got me. I'm never clicking back now."
Yeah, he's never gonna earn again.
He knows I'm not gonna earn. I don't have to pretend like I am.
Yeah, you don't gotta fake it for me. in other leagues, though, people are like, you got to max earn? I'm like, absolutely not. I'll pretend to max earn for like the first season, then I guarantee you I will quit.
Yeah, that's why you were saying like, hey, we're thinking about you different position. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So which one?
Yeah, I'll decide when we get there. We've had a lot of turnover. We keep turning running backs into defensive players.
Oh my god! You know what? Hey, I turned a running back to a wide receiver and it worked out decently.
Oh, yeah. And then I made a wide receiver and I got turned into a fucking cornerback. I have never. No, sorry. The only time I played a position I created at was the time I created as a defensive line. Because nobody's going to make somebody play an OL switch.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
That's good.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thanks for recording with me. And I'll get this posted
always
tonight.
a pleasure. Nice.
I'll talk to you in like 2 seconds.
All right, cool.